are Black Kings with some free game. Today we have Gary Richardson in the building. Mr. Richardson, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
We want to start off the show with first letting everybody know who's here. We have Mr. Gil. Could you please tell them how was your week?
It was great. Excellent week. Every day is great.
Every day.
Every day.
You look very happy and inspired about it. You work with children, correct?
Every day.
So he has to keep a good attitude, as you can see.
Yeah.
And we have Miss Ida. Miss Ida is all the way from New York, and she does social work down there. How was your week, Miss Ida?
My week is going well as well.
Okay. So how was your trip down here to little old GA?
My trip was okay. I have no complaints about my trip. I'm just happy to be here, with my family.
That's awesome.
Southern girl at heart.
Hey, look, right? So, the reason we're here, Mr. Richardson, I know that you're a Liberty County native. How long have you been here, though? Like, throughout your life, have you been gone, come back, or have you just...
I've been here most of all my life. There was a couple of years I moved to San Diego, California, and Las Vegas for about 2.5 years. Other than that, I've been right here in Liberty County.
Oh, okay. With you being in Liberty County, what is some of the things that you've liked most about the progression here?
Really, it's the people they're bringing here. The base is growing. It's growing our population. We're getting a lot of good folks coming in. They're staying. Houses really grown over the years, and I believe it's moving in the right direction.
Yeah, now, when you say growing, it has done that. Because I remember when we had a Piggly Wiggly in Winn-Dixie, and I've said this multiple times in the show, but I don't think people get it. I used to collect greenbacks. You remember that, the greenback bucks?
I sure do.
Oh, my gosh. I used to love those things because that was my time to shop. You know what I'm saying? So, when you speak of vets, we have a veteran right here, Mr. Gil Washington. Gil, what have you noticed since you've been here? How long you been in Liberty County?
Ooh, I got here in 2015. Yeah, since 2015. So that's 9 years.
Yeah, you see how he try to do that quick math work? He's like, oh, please don't make me look crazy. 9, yeah, that's 9. So, yeah, 9 years, and you dug in.
Stay here.
Do you feel at home?
Man, I love it here. I love it.
Well, we appreciate you being here. You appreciate you. Look, guys, I've known Gil now for probably about, 6 years then.
Yeah.
Wow. Time goes. You hear me? Wow.
I'd like to say thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you for your service.
My father was a disabled Vietnam vet, so vets are near and dear to me.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. With me knowing so many vets, it's crazy sometimes because a lot of places, they don't have military bases, right? So you don't really get connected to the folks that actually went out there to fight for your freedom. So ordinarily, we're walking by veterans, and those are heroes. I mean, the majority of them, some of them have even Purple Hearts. You ride around, and you see this on the back of people's vehicle, right? Mm-hmm. And most people in their mind, they think it's for show. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, they got a Purple Heart. Do you know what a Purple Heart is? Mm-hmm. You know what that person had to do in order to, not to get it, but they earned that.
Yep, very much so.
So yes, sir, we do appreciate your service.
Appreciate it.
Miss Ida. Mm-hmm. Now, in New York City, since you've been down here, I know it hasn't been long, but you've been to Georgia before.
Yes.
Some of the things that you noticed that is different down here in Georgia than it is in New York. What are some of the bad things you don't like and some of the things you do like?
Honestly, the only thing I can think of as being classified as a bad thing is that we don't do bugs. Like here, the bugs are really bad, mosquitoes. I've seen deer quite often.
Oh, deer.
Here. Yeah. I'm in the city part of New York, so we don't see deer and things of that nature. But like if I go upstate, then I will see those things.
Those deers.
So that's the only bad thing. I like the South. I was partially raised in the South, in South Carolina. So I'm used to it here, and I'm used to being up north. Up north is really cold here. The cold that you guys have here is nothing compared to New York.
I know, but I appreciate that though. Y'all can.
I appreciate that as well.
Look,
I appreciate that as well.
So you like cold weather?
No, I like it when it's warm. I like it when it's not too hot, not too cold.
Okay.
But if I had to choose whether between here and New York, I would definitely choose the South.
Oh, that's a point for us, y'all. That's a point for us.
Hence why we stayed.
Yeah, right.
And you guys, y'all driving is better down here. Like New York, they don't care.
Man,
Probably a lot less people here too.
You have a lot less people here, a lot less traffic, but even in the midst of moving, everybody hustle and bustle is still different than New York. New York, our hustle and bustle is tunnel vision. We don't see anything else. Yeah.
I remember going and visiting New York, and my father was driving. Now my father has a temper. But he had a temper. Love you, Dad. But when he was driving in New York, I was extra nervous, and he had a Cadillac. Like my father always kept a nice car. So I remember the big red seats back then. They seemed large to me. I was a lot smaller, right? But it was like bumper to bumper traffic. And then I look over and I see a taxi with these things around it, like the bumper cars. I said, these people got rails on their thing, a rail on their car. And I mean, there was this guy driving this taxi, and he didn't even look my dad in the eye. My dad's in his spot. Dude's just like, and my dad's like, I know this see me. And he just going. So I was just afraid my pop was gonna hop out, and it was about to be some squabbling going on.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different.
Yeah. So I'm glad you like our traffic.
I do.
And our weather. But
and you guys are much friendlier here.
Well, thank you.
Everybody says hello, good morning. In New York, if you walk around doing that, you're like, are they crazy?
It looked like a free pick.
Yeah.
Southern hospitality.
Yes, Southern hospitality, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Now, speaking of the South, right? Going around the table, Gary, you said you lived in Vegas, I believe you said at one point.
Las Vegas and San Diego, California.
And San Diego. Okay. So with that travel experience, what did you go up there to learn that you wish you could have took back and came back to Georgia with?
I learned what it meant to come from a community where everybody knows each other. I mean, honestly, you get out there and they kind of envy that too. I had some friends some friends that went out there with me, and individually end up meeting out there and becoming friends. We were like, man, dude, y'all are different. Y'all stick together. Y'all are like, even though you're not blood relatives, y'all like act like brothers. And they see that's something we have in the South, that connection we have with our friends and families that they don't have in them big cities, and not have time to associate like that.
Yeah, that's something that you do learn when you leave Georgia. Because when I was in New York, I remember I said, you know what? I look crazy, man. Because when you're up there, there's all these big buildings, right? And I have a little street sense, so I was doing that, and then I look around because I like to observe. I had to step back on the wall, and all I saw was people doing this, right? And then I saw all the people that wasn't doing that, and they were looking at the people doing this. And all of them got approached with some type of something, right? So I said, you know what? I ain't looking up no more unless I'm like sitting down and I'm just chilling. So when I walked around, I walked like them. I had to blend in, baby.
Because we could tell that you're a tourist.
Oh, yeah.
You're a tourist.
Yep.
Community is very important to me, and that's one of the reasons why I love the South. The community here is way different than New York City. Like, for instance, my daughter is outside right now playing in the front yard, and I would never do that in New York without me being there to did at her. So it's definitely different. I always say, like, we don't have neighbors in New York. We just have people that we live around.
Oh, wow.
And here we have neighbors.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to lean, when you start talking about that, I know it's a lot about protection, right? And security. Mr. Richardson, what are some of the things as far as security wise, what do you think that Liberty County is lacking?
We're lacking manpower probably at the sheriff's department. No fault to anybody, just over time we haven't kept up with progression and getting the number of people we need on the road. I think with Fort Stewart here, we have a lot more in the way of security because of what we have at Fort Stewart. You know, they provide a certain level of security for our community also with what we have out there.
Yeah.
But I think just adding the more deputies on the road is probably the one thing we lack that needs to be corrected at some point.
Okay.
But of course, that takes money, and we all know how the times are right now. So
yeah, it's tight.
So you guys have a military presence here, correct? Do you plan on having like any policies or anything that's geared towards veterans or towards keeping that community strong here?
I don't know of any specific things, but like I said earlier, veterans are near and dear to my heart, and there's ways that I could come up with people that are working with me. Let's find ways to do that. Let's find ways to reach out to them and include them, get involved with them.
Okay.
Right now, I couldn't tell you what I would do, but I would love to do something. And I'm open to suggestions, and I'm one of them that listen to people and would love to bridge the gap. Because without the military here, without the veterans, we're just a small place on the map. So we have to respect them and embrace them here.
Yeah. I agree.
Include them in everything.
I agree, because like you said, they are our walking, living heroes here.
Yeah.
And I think that there's not enough services to veterans that really cater to what veterans need. So that is something that you could put in place or figure out how to put in place that will cater to veterans.
Well, being from Hinesville, I know a lot of people.
Okay.
People in different walks of life that can help me piece together stuff, or we could come up with ideas together and come up with programs in the various parts of government to help either fund it or get donations or whatever we need to do to make it work. And just come together and work with everybody to get something done for it.
Networking is always a good thing.
So in New York, dang, that's bad. Y'all don't even call each other neighbors.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
We don't even call each other neighbors in New York.
So do y'all, and I hate to say y'all, it's like, do you people, look, is there ever a time to where it is like a neighborly situation?
I would say the most that I see that, and it wouldn't even be like a neighborly thing, is like in the school community. Like I have children that are still in school. So we will get together as parents of the children in school. We look out for each other's children and for each other. But it won't necessarily be a person that lives where I can walk out my house and knock on the door next door and say, hey, so-and-so. It's not like that.
Ooh, that's bad.
It's such a big city, and everybody is... New York is expensive to live in. So people are so focused on getting to work, getting money, and being able to just live comfortably that they forget about the small things. That's why I like the fact that my foundation was set here in South Carolina, because I grew up knowing the value of community and the value of family and things of that nature, and so I can bring it to my children. That's why I bring them, like I still call here home.
Oh, wow.
And I've been in New York for probably 36 years. But this will always be home.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you on that, because when you do get that foundation, especially when I was from the South, because a lot of people from up north thought that Southern people are like slow. That was the biggest thing I used to catch. Oh, you slow, you from the South. I'd be like, you think I'm slow if you want to. I might talk a little bit slower than you do sometimes, but I'm watching and I'm about 17 steps ahead, and you thinking I'm on the first one.
That stereotype is out there, though.
Yeah, you better believe it. You better.
I saw it out west.
Oh, okay. You're like, oh, Gary, see, he's from Georgia. you know they had to do it. You know they had to do it. Mr. Richardson, what is it that you would like to bring to Liberty County? Of course, we know that you're running for the sheriff's position. What is it that you would like to bring to Liberty County?
I would like to bring institute community policing for the sheriff's department. And that's a philosophy of policing where you engage the public, you give them a chance to buy into it. Partnerships are formed between the law enforcement and the public. Instead of the people just seeing you when they call the police and need them. It's more of getting the neighborhoods and ride around when they see you outside. Kind of like what you said, that friendly vibe. Get out, talk to the people, get to know them, get to know the people in your area. That way you're not always seeing them at the time they need something bad's going on, and they call you. They need to see you in the good times also. Because I learned that when I was an SRO at the high school. That's why they did that. They wanted an officer there dealing with these kids on a day-to-day basis, and not just when somebody did something wrong and they see your face and associate that with, oh, you're the police. You're only here when bad things
happen.
I would like to get that perspective shifted over to the deputies, being in the neighborhoods, being in the stores, being in the places, becoming interactive with the public more. Let's bridge that gap that has been divided for so long between law enforcement and the community.
Yeah.
And I believe community-oriented policing is a philosophy that would do that.
So do you plan on having like any community outreach events, things of that nature?
Yes, definitely. There's always that. Community outreach is very important.
Sometimes it may be more difficult to sometimes engage adults, but what I notice, because I do a lot of outreach things in New York, often we can engage children because adults are bringing them. And when you engage the children, the adults will come.
Yeah, that is exactly right. I've noticed that. And we just got the Boys and Girls Club here in Liberty County.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the board.
It's been in the makings for a while, but now it's really kicked up in full gear and running like Miss Walthour wanted it to.
Okay.
And, that's a good place for us to start is with them.
Yeah. Now, because I went to Liberty County High. And you said you were the school, what's it called? School resource. Okay. So when I was there, it was Deputy Wade. I don't know if you remember Warren Wade.
Known him for a long time.
Yeah. So were you at Liberty also or Bradwell?
I was at SRO at Liberty High.
Liberty High, okay.
I started out in 08 to 2010 with Miss Frazier down at Midway Middle School.
Okay.
Sheriff Martin started the first SRO program, and I took the job out there. And then I was moved to Liberty High around 13 or 14, until I left in 2018.
Oh, okay. 2018, man. See, I know I done grew, man. I feel like, dang, man. I graduated in 2000.
1989. Bradwell Institute.
Oh, you were BI. Okay. Now
we only had one high school.
Okay. Being a school resource officer, was there any times you had to engage with children or?
Oh, a bunch.
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah. And the more you engage with them when nothing's going on, the better you are with them when things are going on. Because I could tell when I first got there, you'd have a lot of the kids were standoffish. But the more I was there, the more I spoke to them in the hall when I passed by, and the more it became personal, the bigger following I had. And when I started needing stuff, I could ask, and the kids felt comfortable talking to me. To this day, while I'm on the campaign trail, I've been talking to adults and have students walk out and go, "Oh, that's Lieutenant Richardson from the SRO,
okay,
from the school. Man, he treated us so good, you know." And you just, it's good to hear that, because that's what I was trying to show them that law enforcement is not bad people. We're here to do a job, and most of us try to do it the right way, and we do care about everybody.
Yeah, word of mouth is really big when it comes to children. Because if I go to Miss Richardson and I have a problem and I talk to him and he helps me, I'm going to go back and tell my friends, go to Miss Richardson. You know,
You're right.
He'll talk to you. And that's how you gain their trust. Yeah.
I saw that. That is exactly how it works.
Word of mouth.
It's just mainly about relationships. You know, I spent the whole year building relationships. I walk through the school like a celebrity now. But when the incident happens, hey, what you doing?
Well, you earn that,
You know,
by just being yourself and being true to them, because they can spot fake in a mile.
Yes.
They can spot it a mile away, but they know you're genuine.
Oh yeah.
The kids will respond in a positive way, and I really believe that I would want to believe that some of that had an impact on them not getting into more trouble at school or off campus. You know, that the relationship we built, you know, that
because they can come and talk it out before it gets to the point where it becomes physical or violent. And that's always a good thing to know, that you have that safe space in order to do that, or a person that you can go to that's safe.
And somebody's not judging you.
Yes. Yes.
Gil, now I know that you went to a few other schools when you were growing up. Now, in your high school era, where were you? Where did you attend school at? What state were you in?
Alabama, the great state. Roll Tide.
First of all, are we gonna strike that from the record? We're gonna strike that from the record. You ain't have no business talking like that. On, no, y'all, you know what it is. Go Dogs. I have to follow that up. Go Dogs.
Propaganda.
Yeah, we still got. Yeah. Oh, you know what time it is. Hey, we still got Kirby Smart. Who's your coach again?
Hey,
Who's your coach again?
you'll see.
Oh, we'll see. I don't know if we're gonna.
You'll see.
Yeah. You might need to get you some tea on that one because I don't know what he's mistaken, but these dogs are they gonna hunt.
I think we 18 and counting right now.
18 on what?
Championship and counting.
So. Yeah, that was back in 19.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah, I mean you came all the way up, but we'll see what happens. See, you got me off task.
I did.
I was asking you about
went
school.
there.
No,
went there.
you had no business saying that disrespectful. You in Georgia right now.
That Roll Tide messed you up, didn't it?
Yeah, man, it didn't
Messed
mess
me up, too.
it put me on. It put me on point because
called
you ain't got
pressure.
no business saying that up here.
That's called
Don't do
pressure.
that. There's no pressure. Anyways, with you growing up, you said you grew up in
Alabama.
Okay.
Small town.
What part of Alabama, if you don't mind me asking?
City Grove Hill.
City
it's
Grove.
about 45 minutes north of Mobile.
Okay.
Small
Okay.
town.
So, do you remember having a school resource officer growing up, or
No, we didn't have. No.
okay,
No. Our high school was about 400 strong
okay, all together?
altogether. Graduating class of about 100.
We graduated 300 and something in 1980.
You see how he just rubbed that in on you.
Okay.
Look, I was about
But
to talk some
when you
jokes,
go
too.
back to community, though,
Yeah, yeah.
we were that community, you know.
Y'all could not
So-
date anybody. Everybody had to be either your Yep. I gotta go 45 minutes down the road to meet my girlfriend.
This guy here, man.
Shouldn't have said Bama. Anyways, with you growing up in that small town, because we're a small town too. It's not like I can't turn a corner without seeing somebody I'm related to or that I know. So, with you growing up in that town, what type of foundation did it give you when you encountered the world?
Well, just relationships. You know, I'm big on that because it's a African proverb that I kind of go off of that helps me in the school. It says a child that is not embraced by the village will burn it to feel its warmth. You know what I'm saying? And
Please
so,
say that one more time. That was deep.
a child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
If y'all think that's something, y'all don't talk to them like I do. And I want you guys to go to lotus.com. Is that right? What is it?
The Lotus Collection.
The lotuscollection.com.
.co.
Look, yeah, I got to shout it out. If you would, tell them what Lotus stands for.
Lotus is a clothing brand that I came up with, meaning Legends of the Urban Struggle. And it jumped off around April 2020 when everything was happening in the world. And I just felt that, you know, African history wasn't being taught, of course, you know. And so just to bring light to those things that we were never taught in school, I just wanted to bring those things to light in my clothing design. So I decided that Lotus would be a great thing. And being that the lotus flower, it comes from a dark place and it's beautiful up top. And our history, it seems like it's a dark place, but we've always come up on top. And so I used that lotus to, you know, symbolize that.
Yeah, let me tell you how deep this go. So I saw him, he had a shirt on that he had made, and it had Timbuktu on it. Now, my country self, for a while, you know, I didn't really know, you know, you better take your stuff back to Timbuktu. You know, look, that's the only time I used it, right? So when he told me, he said, you need to go look it up. You need to find out what Timbuktu is. And when I went back to look at Timbuktu, Nikola Tesla went there, Albert Einstein, all of your professors, everybody from all over the world had to go to Timbuktu to get their education on what's going on. And Timbuktu is located in Africa. Am I correct? That says volume of what it is when we thinking about education. It's like we think everything's formed in the United States. Yeah, we got to be prideful. You got to be prideful of where you come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you also, right now, we're in the age of information. I mean, we are learning at high speed. And we're starting to find out things that's contradicting itself.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we need to bring that to the forefront also. Because I learned a lot, especially from Gil. He knows a lot about history. And his Lotus, the lotuscollection.co. Y'all need to check it out, seriously. And you'll learn some stuff too, because he has inspirational quotes on some of them. And I'm pretty sure if you leave a message, he could also, if you request, he can make it happen. All right, guys. But going back into that, that small town foundation.
Yeah.
And Mr. Richardson, you with you having that small town and going up to California and Las Vegas, how did you see that as far as your networking? Because, down here we're taught by our folks, you need to shake hands, you need to look somebody dead in the eye, you need to be courteous, you need to have charisma. How did you see that as an advantage when you moved up there?
I wouldn't call it an advantage because I think it's folks there are just as fast paced, like she was talking earlier. We live a little slower paced life in the South. So we take time to talk to people and listen to them. And out there, it was kind of like, let's get it over with. Tell me what you got to tell me. Let's get it moving. Not bad people, just they're always in a hurry. And it's sometimes they would slow down and talk to you, and other times it was just get it done and let's move forward. So it worked out pretty good. I mean, for the most part.
Okay.
It helped me dealing with people because I've never met a stranger. I walk up and talk to you, and if you're one of the fast-paced people, you'll move on. I'll find the next one standing there. I'll find somebody that's not going to be a stranger.
And that's how you stand out. That is how you stand out. Because I was raised that way. So in New York, like I said, we are friendly down here. Everybody's hello. And I was raised that way. And because I took that with me, I know how to turn it off and on per se when I need to. I know who to engage that way, and I know who is just like you said, like, what you got, just give it to me, let me go. But when you are from a more slower pace and you know how to come in, shake hands, greet them, you stand out that way. Like, people remember me.
And when you use your manners, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, they look at you like, because you're at the convenience store, some young person behind the counter, you're like, yes ma'am or yes sir, and they're like,
you're not from here.
Why did you call me that? Well, you're working for a living. I respect you, and that's just how we were raised. We use our manners.
Yeah, and let me speak about that manners, man. Baby, I'm sorry. I'm just telling the story. This is before you. Went to New York. We landed in LaGuardia. That's in New Jersey, I believe, right?
No,
LaGuardia?
It's like Queens. It's like Queens.
Queens, okay. So when we landed there, was it JFK?
JFK, they both out there. Unless you mean Newark. Newark is in New Jersey.
Newark Airport? I think we might have came in because we had to take a train to get. So when we got off there, so anyways, we were sitting down. It was me, my bro, and my other bro Wesley. Right? We're riding on the train. Train stopping a couple times. People come on. We got seats. So train stops again. These three ladies walk in. So. It wasn't no discussion. It wasn't nothing. I stood up, my brother stood up, and my other brother stood up, and we was like, hey, would y'all like to sit down? Those ladies looked at us like we were crazy. They was like, huh? Nah, you playing, right? Or don't y'all playing? And we're like, no, ma'am, y'all have a seat. They said, oh, you not from here. Where y'all from? So I was like, yo, we're from Georgia. They was like, oh, I got to get me a Georgia man. It's no way. And I was like, what? So when we were walking around, we did stand out because we had that Southern charisma. Even when we were in the restaurant, like you said, when you yes ma'am, no ma'am, or how you doing? And you talking about, hey, how you doing, beautiful? They're like, what? You ain't say, yo, son, come here, let me get the math. It was well, we were more swagged out. We was like, hey, how you doing? better stop it. You know, so your manners get you far. It gets you far. Even when we went into like bars and everything, you know, we were singers, so they let us get on the microphone, but it was just our manners that got us there. You know, so that foundation, it really does matter. Mr. Gary, with Liberty County, I know you said that we need more police. Okay. Now, as far as the idea of community policing, how would you do that? Like, what is the plan to try to institute a community policing?
Well, there's training programs that the deputies would go through, you know, because they need to learn what it actually means. I mean, it's been out there for a while, but not everybody's embraced the concept. And me having a different background with the SRO and seeing what it did for me with them, I feel would be beneficial to the citizens of Liberty County if the deputies are more interactive that way. I don't want them to always just see us in a time of need or a time of when somebody's got to go to jail or something bad's going on. You know, I don't want to be the ones that have to be the bad guys all the time. Let's just stop. They're barbecuing yard. Stop. Get out. Speak to them. Hey, I'm deputy such and such. And anything going on in the neighborhood, you know, how's everything going? Y'all enjoy your meal? I mean, just things like that. The community policing needs to get back to that.
Okay.
And there's going to be some training involved. You know, it's got to start on the inside. It's got to start with the top. We got to show them what we're doing to make them do it and to get them to buy into it. And then the citizens understand what we're doing. And forming partnerships, you get a lot more out of it. It's like I said, the networking. It's kind of networking with the citizens, showing them that we care. And we're not just out here to respond to calls when your house has been broken into or you're having a domestic dispute or somebody's in trouble, your child's missing. You know, we show up, you see us on a different level.
Yes. You're not always associated with negativity.
Yes. No, it's not always a negative thing when you see the police. You ain't like, ooh, somebody will go to jail tonight. It's like, oh, he's here. He comes here all the time and gets out, you know, and stops and talks. But it'll take a little while to get it going and get everybody to buy in. But I believe if you start with that philosophy.
Okay. So, like right now, with the current administration that's in there and they're doing, I do see, I be seeing, I be having to slow down all the time. Like, oh Lord, you know. But what is it that you feel like the current administration isn't doing good enough, or what is it that you would do more than what the current administration is doing now?
Well, I'm not going to say the current administration's not doing good enough. I wouldn't want to go and say that.
Okay.
And it's like, there's a lot of things that it's just, I think it's an opinion. It's not whether they're doing anything wrong. It's just an opinion of how policing should go. So Sheriff Bowman, I wouldn't say is doing wrong.
Okay.
We just have a difference of opinion on how it should be done. I mean, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's just a difference in philosophy, difference in what we want to achieve.
Okay. I got you.
And there again, it's not throwing shade on him or anybody there. It's just difference in philosophy. Not, you know, oh, you're wrong because I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but
do you think implementing change is going to be easy, or do you think that it's going to be really hard for you?
Being in law enforcement for 33 years and knowing how hard-headed some cops can be,
it's going to be hard.
It's just going to be hard, but if you really believe in it and you show them you're buying into it, they'll follow suit. When they see anything to make their job easier down the road, they'll buy into it. And I do believe the community policing philosophy will make our jobs easier in the end, because you don't have all that. You're still going to have distrust because you can't reach everybody. But if you get the majority of people, you know, when you do have a problem, they're more likely to talk to you and say, hey, deputy said this is what was going on, you know, to help us figure out the situation versus, well, I don't know that deputy, so I ain't saying a word. I'm just going to sit here and we're not going to solve the problem.
Yes.
You know, so I feel like anything that in the end, in the long run, makes a deputy's life easier on the job, they'll buy into it.
Now, when you do the community policing, would you want to get somebody that's from that area? Like, see, I've had an idea of this before, especially when there was a lot of things going on, a lot of turmoil going on in the nation, especially between the police officers and the minority community. There was that was a time, man. That really was. Matter of fact, sorry to keep bringing it up, but Lotus had made the "I Run with Ahmad" shirts. I still got it. I saw it the other day, man. And you know, it brought us together, but it brought us together for the wrong thing. You know, so when you're talking about a community officer, I envision it as somebody, you know, maybe with that program it'd be, you know, a little bit tough because you would want to try to get somebody from that community to want to be an officer of the law, you know, so that even when they react or interact with the community, they're already familiar with that person. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And because when you take people to programs is one thing, man. I mean, I've been in law enforcement a little bit, you know, and I remember how they used to train us, but it's nothing like when that situation happens. And one situation I want to talk about that happened with me was I was working at I was in a jail. It was a prison, but I was working there, and you know you want to try to be pretty cool with the inmates, somewhat like that, but at a point, you have to draw like this line. You got to be the same way every day, and I realized that, right? But you got people that don't realize that, especially the ones that you're having to be in charge of. Does that make sense? So I wasn't from there. You get what I'm saying? So when I was in there, what I witnessed was whoever the person was that was calling the shots in there had way more power than I did because he was from there. You get what I'm saying? He knew the dynamics of everything. He knows that, hey, if they get in a fight, it's going to lock down the dorm and then they're not going to be able to do their exchanges. So when you say it, I get that. So what I think needs to happen, this is just my opinion, is while that's being integrated, there needs to be a communication between a community leader in that area. An alderman, yeah. And then that could connect with the departments. But that's going to take some smooth guiding in to happen because that takes trust. So building trust with the community, I see that's what it's going to have to be. Now, as far as the trust in the community, do you feel like you have the trust of a lot of folks on all spectrums of the community?
I do. I really do. Growing up here, being from here, people would tell you I've not changed. I started policing when I was 20 years old. I didn't change then. It didn't go to my head. I was never, I'm the Mr. Policeman. I was always the same Gary. They've noticed that over the years. That's one thing that they like about me is that I don't change. I've never changed. You don't. Well, let me say I have changed for the better. I've grown, got knowledgeable that way, but I don't change who I am.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of trust, and they know that. They know with me, if I tell them something, it's true. And that's took a long time to build that trust and relationships. And that's all spectrums of Liberty County. I mean, I live in Riceboro. Love it over there. Got a lot of respect from those people. I mean, a lot.
Yeah, at Rice Fest, boy, I'll be stuffing my face.
It's always good food at Rice Fest, no doubt.
Ooh. Gil, I know you heard Mr. Richardson said that. How do you feel about what he said about being connected to the community? How important is that, and what's the best way you feel that would be?
I think it's a great idea. I think for the long road, starting in the schools, you have the SROs there, and I think the kids that I know, they actually love our SROs. And getting your deputies to come through to make an impact on those kids. Like, I know you're busy all day, but them showing the presence in the schools for those kids growing up, and as they get older, now it's building that trust. It's like planting a seed almost.
Yep.
And as they get older now, what we've messed up now, they have a chance to kind of regrow it from that level, because the parents are already in their mindset. Adults in our mindset. If we can change,
well, also to change the kids' mindset.
Yeah,
the parents, like so, parents a lot of times will start looking at it from a different perspective
Yes.
too. They'll go, well, hey, these,
Yeah.
we learn as much from my kids as they do us.
For real.
So you're right. You can change a lot of things by fostering it with the kids and letting it grow through the community.
Yeah.
'Cause, people think, well, they're just kids. Well, they're very knowledgeable kids.
Oh yeah.
I
Yes.
know for me, one of the things that I have that's different from my children, because I have a 9-year-old, a 17-year-old, and 25-year-old. They have a lot of access to information that I didn't have growing up. Like we didn't have an internet growing up, so there was no pictures. There was no other narrative being told other than what we were taught. And I think that made us a little bit more open, as opposed to my 25-year-old son, who he sees all of these things, and it starts to change, the narrative in his head. So representation is very important. Do you see anything in your administration where you would have, like, say, a department or a section that's just devoted to outreach for the community, and they can build that bridge? Like Mark was saying, if you have like an alderman in different areas, have that outreach department, know who all of those different people are, and start building it there. Like, you build it small and then you make it bigger. I think that would help as well too, especially when it comes to young people, because they have so much access to things that we never had access to. You have to think about the different things that they hear, the things that they see, what the media portrays, because that plays a very big part in it too. And they just want to know that they're being heard sometimes. And sometimes that's enough to kind of catch their ear and pull them in.
Yeah, and you're right, because I know when I was a kid, if you ask why, Mark say,
What you?
That's just common. But now they're inquisitive. We were, but that was a different time. You didn't ask the why. You got popped. Nowadays, we got to learn to accept. They're asking the why, not to be disrespectful, but they want to know.
Yeah.
We want to know as adults. When somebody changes something at your work, well, why? It's not that I'm questioning you. I just need to understand what I'm fixing to try to achieve by changing this. So don't hoard the knowledge.
Yes.
Give it to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hoard knowledge, man. All they gotta do is pick up their phone and say, "Hey Siri" or "Hey Google."
That's the voice they got to use.
Yeah. "Hey Siri," "Hey Google."
I tried to convince my daughter of something today, and in 5 minutes she done got on the internet and said, "Daddy, it's right here."
You wrong.
Just that quick, she was able to say, "Nope, that's not true. Look at here." I said, "Well, I was just joking, playing with you." But
So we have to remember that when we deal with them, because
she called me out quick.
Is there.
See, now I'm used to just telling the short, fast one to my kids. Like, nah, you sit down, the babies don't come from there. A little stork dropped them off. Then next thing, but Daddy, what about the fallopian tube? What do you? How you know how to say fallopian? First of all, like the kids, they come at you like that nowadays, man.
They do.
I mean, my daughter's on YouTube and she's scrolling and she's going, and all of a sudden she's pulling up these shows. I'm like, where'd you find that one? My friend Kayla, she watches this one and she gets to play with toys. This thing cost me, man. I gotta buy toys that they playing with.
Got one better.
What's up?
And they making money.
Grandson backyard playing with the trucks.
Yeah.
Going down the ramp. 3 years old. All I hear was, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe.
That's right. He making a video.
Kid you not.
Yeah.
Bro. See, and you know what though? While you playing, all you gotta do is get a camera, set it up, and let him play with his trucks. And I bet you he'll have over 14 million followers. And like, oh my God, he's so cute. And you walk out in the picture, get that man with that Bama stuff off of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't need to be out there. But look,
Slid it in there.
YouTube
Slid it in there.
influencers are making money. They making more money than people who went to school and got degrees.
thank you. It's not even about what you know now. It's who you know and who like what you know and who likes you.
Exactly.
So,
knowing your audience.
yeah, you got to know your audience. And boy, I've seen some people get away with stuff. You hear me? Knowing your audience is one thing. But these folks out here, they are living the life, but not living the life. I thought this person was rich at one point, and you should, because it's attention. Everybody want attention. I get it. Shoot, I'm trying to. Hey y'all, I'm trying to get y'all attention right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
There you go.
Black Kings Free Game on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. I'll say it again. Black Kings Free Game on YouTube right now. And let me tell you something. In a few, we're going to be giving out prizes. Prizes. That's right. We're going to give out some prizes. But yeah, back to Gil and him getting in the picture of his grandson's show. If you just put a camera out there, I'm
Making
telling
money.
you, look, you can put up for college. I'm telling you, man, these folks, they are some that makes money when they monetize it right. But the ones that don't, they're just there for show.
Yeah.
They don't gain anything, but just face.
The missing part of that though is financial. Like they have to know how to invest it. Once they make that money, they need to be taught where to put it at, how to invest it, how to keep it, because otherwise they just blow through it. Because to them it's easy. All I did was play with toys all day, and people watch me, and I got paid for it. So they don't understand the value sometime of it.
Yeah.
Just teach them how to invest it.
Yeah, that's strong. So, Mr. Richardson, let me ask you something. Do you know about crypto?
Very little.
At least he was honest.
Yeah, very little, man.
He said, no bueno. No,
I don't. It's
no
hard,
entiendo.
it's hard for me to put my trust in something I can't lay my hands on like a dollar bill. I mean, it's
I got
just
you.
me. It's my.
I got you. I
way
was
of
the
thinking.
same way. I really was.
Tangible.
Yeah. Something that you can touch, see, and feel. So I asked this question. What is it nowadays that you can invest in that you can touch, see, and feel? Look at where we're headed.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
Everything comes from this thing here. So we don't start investing in our brain cells, because if people don't understand this, let me tell you guys something. I went to Checkers the other day. Matter of fact, bring the camera in on me. Look. I went to Checkers the other day. I pulled up to the window, and you know how you get that greeting message? It says, "Hi, welcome to Checkers. How may I take your order? Would you like to try that?" I'm waiting on the person to come up and say, "Hey, welcome to Checkers." So I heard that. That was it. Then the thing came back up again. "Hey, welcome to Checkers. I'll be taking your order. Speak when ready." I'm like, "Hold on now. Wait." I said, "Hey, how you doing?" "Hi, welcome to Checkers." I said, "Hold on. Would you please just place your order?" It's AI.
Yes.
You don't even have the person at the window taking your order no more. And I messed up the order. I said, "You know what? I don't want that." "No problem." Took it off my order and said, "What would you like?" And I mean, I was speaking like I was speaking to a person. If y'all don't get right, jobs are leaving. Jobs are leaving. Okay, guys? Even I saw a robot. It does fries. It makes the burger. All it does is it slides the patty onto the rail, right? Then that person types in what they want for condiments, and that machine it goes through, either it's going to release some or it's not. And guess what? They don't need people no more. We got to wake up on that. I know I kind of went off on topic, but that is a scary
it's
sight.
You go to the retail stores now. Cashiers are almost a thing of the past.
Self-checkout.
Yeah, it's self.
Even the convenience stores, they're even instituting it there. I mean, it's
Yeah, you can pay for your gas, and now I think it's at Circle K. All you do is sit the item up under the thing.
Yeah.
It don't even have to be on the barcode. It's like it just reads it, scans it, boom. Your gas, everything. You tell them I'm gonna pump this. So guess what? They're eliminating the workers, man.
and they got the app where you can, like I think Circle K is one where you can just pay for it right there on your phone, and it'll pump your gas and you're done. No, don't go see a clerk.
No,
Just type it in on your app and do it.
And
Jobs are going away.
it's going away. Go ahead.
I purposely in New York, like they have kiosks for everything. And I purposely, when I go into a fast food place or something like that, I purposely don't use the kiosk because I understand the bigger picture of
Yes.
the kiosk. If I keep using this kiosk, if I can make $1 million with that kiosk, I don't need to pay you to stand there. And I had to explain that to a couple of friends of mine, like, yeah, I purposely don't use those because they're gonna take people's jobs. And then you're like, they were like, I never thought about it that way. Like, yeah, you gotta Look at the bigger picture. Don't look at this. Look at what's behind it. What's coming next. That's what I look at.
And what's coming next is, and I hate to say this, y'all, people don't want to work no more. They don't want to work. They don't want to work nobody else's vision, even if they're not even willing to work their own vision that they have in their head. Like, you have a lot of folks that say, oh, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Check game. That's not easy, man. That's not easy. So sometimes, you got to be real with yourself. Of course, follow your dreams, but sometimes working other people's visions helps you get to yours. It depends on the person. Depends on what you're doing. If you're in a relatable field of what you're doing. But guys, if we don't stop saying that we don't want to do anything or we don't want to work for anything, something else is going to do the job. And the only thing you're going to be able to depend on is somebody that can cut you that check. And that's real talk. So who will be in control then?
And that's free game.
That's free game.
That's definitely free game.
I'm telling you. Yeah, we got to change the way that we're thinking, y'all. So, look, guys, we got about 7 minutes left, right? But I'm going to let everybody around the table get some questions out to Mr. Richardson before we end the program today. Just a small recap. Mr. Richardson is from Liberty County, correct?
Yes, sir.
He did leave. He went because somebody made him mad. He was like, I need to go to Las Vegas and Cali. But no, I'm just playing, y'all. He did leave. He went to Cali. He came back, and he was a SRO at Liberty County High School.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And he is running for the sheriff's position. What is it that you would like to ask him, Miss Ida? Just knowing all the information, you've got to meet him. You've talked to him. You know some of his background. What's some things that you would like to ask him about what he is wanting to do?
One thing I would ask you, because I've asked a couple of questions today, is do you, because you've lived in both places, do you think that there's anything from the big cities that you can take and bring here and kind of like change it a little bit to make it work for what you want to do?
I really don't believe so. And for the simple fact that what they're able to do there is the amount of money that they get.
Right.
As far as finance wise, there's things, yes, I would love to take, but I just think realistically, you can't. They have bigger department, bigger budgets. They're able to do things that we can't. Maybe that don't say that down the road something can't change, that we can't find a cheaper way to do something or institute something. Because I'm always willing to learn and look and try something. I'm not closed-minded. And I don't try to be the smartest man in the room all the time. I listen to people. We'll talk. My idea might be, I think, the greatest idea in the world. But when we get done talking, I might be convinced that we all four got something to put together, and that's the best idea.
Okay.
I appreciate that open-mindedness because that can get you far.
Yeah, but you're not always going to be right. So you got to be willing to listen to other people and take their advice and listen to their opinions. I mean, that's just with life in general, no matter what job you're trying to do.
Yes.
Make you a lot more successful than always trying to be the smartest person sitting in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. Everything else I already asked.
Okay. Mr. Washington?
The only question I have is, I know you said that recruiting numbers are low. I guess you can say it that way. How do you plan on to get the numbers you need for the things that you want to do for Liberty County?
Well, first off, I'd have to get in there and reevaluate what all they have now, because it's been 5-6 years since I worked in the department. So I'd have to get in there and evaluate what we have, how you can reallocate some things. It's going to be there's going to be a learning process also, but I think you go in and evaluate it all. You figure out what you have, what you can do, talk with commissioners, try to come up with a game plan, and we'll reevaluate what we got and put people where they need to be and try to increase those numbers. Because it's been low for a long time. I mean, these numbers should have probably been up years ago. Now, the department has gotten more officers, but they also have more departments. They got the drug unit, they've got a traffic unit. Well, it's great and all, but sometimes we need to put the amount of deputies that are on the road patrolling. I started in 91. There was 5 deputies on a shift, 1991. 2024, they got 6 deputies on a shift. And you know how much we've grown, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that could have been changed years ago. Should have been up to 7 or 8 years ago. But we focused on getting more people and making more departments because the county was growing and we wanted to offer more services. But then we kind of lost sight of the fact that we also need to bump up the shifts. You know, it's good to have these other departments to provide services, but we can't forget the backbone of the department, which is patrol.
Now, this is information because, you know, I've been researching different departments ever since I've been bringing on candidates and everything. Now, I do know that the current administration, they did make that at I think it was a county meeting. They was talking about that. And one thing I do know is that he also did like the grant writers in order to bring in some more money so he can pay for those, you know, the extra officers or different departments. Now, as far as that, also finding extra money. This is the question I want to ask. As far as finding the extra money, like the things that they're doing, what other sources of income do you see that can be done?
That's probably the biggest part of it is begging for grants. I mean, there's a lot of money out there, and I honestly believe
you're right.
And I think the sheriff and them they've been looking for grants. Most of the past few sheriffs have looked for grants. I think it's getting more prevalent. We're getting more educated on grants. You know, and I do believe this current administration is doing good with asking for grants. I'm not privy to how many they've actually had approved, but I know they're asking all the time.
Yeah.
And I would continue to ask. I would continue to beg. I mean, and I really believe with Fort Stewart here and the soldiers we deal with, there has to be resources.
Yeah.
If nothing more than us having to deal with the PTSD soldier that needs help. You know, there's got to be something. The influx we have here to the federal government, it seems like there's got to be more for us to be able to tap into to finance those kind of things, to get more deputies on the road, train them better so they can deal with the situations that arise.
Are you guys writing grants or just applying for grants?
Grant writing.
Writing and applying.
Okay.
Yeah, those
You get a
grant
grant writer and then they apply and you hope to get them.
Yeah, grant writing that's big to have, and I don't know if we have a grant writer for Liberty County. I think you still have to hire out, but I think that's something that we need to look into is getting a grant writer for the city.
I know I think the city of Hinesville has one, if I'm not mistaken. The city of Hinesville, I believe. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I'm pretty sure they do.
Okay, so it's just the county that needs to, because man, we're growing so fast, guys. You're talking about the Publix being up, right?
I saw that today.
But when you used to ride down 84, this is what I remember. There's that turn where there was Stacy's Florist. You know where that is? That big
curb.
Yeah, by Parker.
Yep, by Parker's now. That Parker's wasn't there.
Yeah.
This big empty triangle.
That's it. And you either went straight to go to base or you took that curve. Now, on that curve, we did have those little buildings there, but those haven't always been there. Where they have the gym and the biker club now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you keep going down, nothing. Right side, nothing. Then you got the sanitary plumbing. He's always been there.
On the right.
Yep. And then you've got the vet. And then you had, I don't even know if that hotel was there back when I was growing up on the right-hand side.
The old Shoney's Hotel was here.
The Shoney's here. Oh, boy, Shoney's used to be busting. You hear me? You ever heard of
about
Shoney's?
Shoney's?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, we had the same thing. See, that's the down south in us. Even in Alabama, they knew about Shoney's. You know what I'm saying?
My mama's favorite spot.
Oh man, you think that's her favorite spot? Man, we used to go there for Christmas time, right there in Dublin, Georgia. My mother and my auntie and uncle, they used to meet there so we can exchange gifts. Man.
And they had free ice cream.
Man, they had, after you paid for that buffet, everything to me was free. I was like, let me get that.
Yeah.
That was the only time, I didn't really get a complaint on how much food I ate. Look, hey, Mr. Richardson, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me, and I enjoyed speaking with y'all.
Yes, sir.
It was fun.
Yes, Miss Ida.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know you all the way from New York City.
Yes.
You came to drop some knowledge with the Kings today, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I had a queen in the house for a day.
Yep, Queen up in the building.
Yeah.
And Mr. Gil Washington, we appreciate you coming in, especially with all the expertise and the history. You guys, once again, I got to say it again, it is the lotuscollection.co. The lotuscollection.co. Also, he has the messaging bar there. If you got questions, even about history, you better hit him up. Seriously. I mean, so, all right, you know who I am, King Conda, the people's champ, kingconda.com, where you can find these clothes, these beautiful items that I'm wearing today. Black Kings Free Game. To all you kings and queens out there, we thank you for watching. And on today, we're out.